going on, everybody? It's Monday night. It's time for another Toypixx live stream. And because things have been pretty light when it comes to the whole news thing, I figured we'd just get back to basics, get back to the most basic of action figure collecting questions, and that is, why exactly do we dig these pieces of plastic crack so gosh darn much? So if you're catching this on the replay, let us know in the comments. Let us know why you dig action figures. For me, a lot of it's photography, but maybe it's not all that. I don't know. I try to come up with it. I try to get deep. I don't think it's that deep for me, to be honest, but we'll see. We'll talk to everybody, see what we all come up with. So that's pretty much all I've got for ye old preamble. Now, let's go check ye old chat here. Egad. Let's see. Hold on. I'm not seeing Sci-Fi still. I did shoot Sci-Fi a message to make sure he's doing all right and all that good stuff. So hopefully he jumps on here and all's kosher. But in the meantime, Mr. Matson, good to see you tonight. Nerds. I'm going to need to get like a picture of Ogre for when you pop in, I think. I don't know. Hasbro board members getting sued. Chris Cox sued over magic cards. Yeah, I heard about that. I did a touch of reading about it, not too much. It sounds like it's probably going to be a nothing burger, but you definitely don't want to be sued by your shareholders, I wouldn't think. That seems to me to be a problem, but I guess we'll see what comes of it. Mr. Matson's still frozen in here until tomorrow. I have a long drive across country after that. Oh, dude, how bad did you guys get hit? I mean, we got hit. I looked outside, and it looks like we do a lot of snow blowing and all that just because of where we're at. So we have to snow blow the drive. We have to snow blow the sidewalk, all that. It's not like I don't have a truck and I'm out there plowing parking lots. It's not like that, but it's trying to get around the house, help out in the neighborhood, that sort of thing. And I look outside, and the patch of grass that's in front of the front yard has probably a little over a foot of snow there. Now, that's been accumulating because it's not getting above freezing in Michigan. So we probably got maybe 5 inches yesterday, but I know the country has just been getting pelted. So hopefully you guys are okay. And that's one of the reasons I made sure to shoot Sci-Fi a message. Michigan isn't exactly warm right now, so just hoping everybody's doing all right out there. So where are you going across the country, Mr. Matson? Hola, Mr. Spencer. Good to see you tonight. Let's see. We would be snowed in, but one of the farmers dug out our driveway with their tractor. That's awesome, man. And so, like, a lot of people do that kind of thing when they're out and about in the country. I have family that lived out on farms, and it seemed everybody out that way took really good care of each other. So we can get out. Roads seem okay otherwise. Yeah, roads aren't too bad in this area. But you still have to be careful, and you always have to watch out for that one nut job that doesn't understand that roads aren't quite the same when they have a lot of snow and ice on them. Ooh, Skibbity Riz. At least it wasn't Skibbity Toilet. I know Riz. Haha. I got nothing on Skibbity, though. What's up, Mr. Big Dysentery? Hope you're having fun. Harry, what's up? Until, let's see, we haven't been above -10 for, oh my God, man. Yeah, I didn't look at the temperature as far as, when you get the feels like on there. I didn't look at that, but it was 12 degrees when I got to the office this morning. And here's what sucks about that. It felt okay. That's how insane this cold has been. Mr. Spencer, yikes, I'm happy we got to 28 today. Yeah, you're basically in a heat wave compared to a lot of people, it sounds like. Mr. Martinez, hello, Dave and chat. Good to see you tonight, Alex. Thanks for stopping in. Hope everybody out there is staying warm. Paul, what's going on, sir? Good to see you. Spaded one, Joey, do you ever hang around a gymnasium? What? I got nothing. Help me out, gang. What's up, Ghost Tab? Good to see you tonight. John, it brings me joy. Why? Not sure. Posing random figures is cool. Photos of them is cool. I like that. That's a good answer. And that's kind of answer that I probably got is I was trying to go back and be like, what was it? Was it that toys were just such a big part of me growing up, and if I didn't feel good, I always had those because I didn't have a lot of no, I had plenty of friends. I don't know. I think I just like them. And today I just like taking pictures of them and seeing how creative and fancy I can get. I don't think there's much more to it than that. But I mean, we all get stuff that we're kind of nostalgic for. But as we've talked about on here, we're also just getting cool stuff that we think is cool. Yay, redundancy. Ghost have thoughts on He-Man trailers. my thought, I don't know my Motu like a lot of people do. My only thought was it looked fine. Like everybody was concerned way back that it was going to take too much time on Earth. It doesn't look like it's going to be just a ridiculous Earth setting for much of the movie, or so. I don't know. I don't know what percentage we're looking at, but it seemed the Eternia looked pretty good. I thought Grayskull looked good. What threw me off, and I don't know what the He-Man purists think about this, so let me know in the chat. What threw me off is as soon as it got to He-Man and Skeletor, everything else looked really magic and techy and all that stuff. And then these guys come in and they just look like they're not wearing anything. It honestly looked out of place with what everything else was that I saw in the trailer. So aside from that, I thought it looked fine. No, I'm just not the Motu guy to judge it too much, Well, I'll probably check it out. 20 inches. Holy crap, Ghost Tab. And where are you again? Dude, I love Science Voich. Oh, I'm just going to keep clicking. Dang you, Spaded One. John, we got 6 to 8 inches, but the top inch or so is icy and soft. Oh, I hate the icy stuff. That's why you don't like driving. That's why I don't like driving. Mr. Madsen, it really wasn't that bad. Sleet and ice accumulation. It was really cold yesterday, but not too bad here. Nice. Okay, that's what I like to hear. My mom actually brought up, she's like, imagine the people in like South Carolina or, the areas that never really get hit with snow, how they're faring. Because as much as I hate snow, I grew up driving in it. Like if I were most anywhere, I could still get around and be okay. But there's a lot of people you just feel bad for because maybe they can't. Spaded One, I'm digging the Cackle Star Arctic. What? Yeah. This is good, isn't it? Maybe that's what you're going for is the AI. I've been trying to use my photos more for the backgrounds, but I didn't have any pictures of action figures, pondering why they like action figures. So that's where I was there. Sci-Fi, you're good, man. All right, sweet. If you see a message from me on Instagram, I was just checking up on you because I usually see your name at the top. So glad you're okay. Greetings and toytations, everyone. 5K Toys has an amazing third-party soft goods Thomas Hayden Church Sandman figure called Sand Mutant. There's a standard and deluxe version and just the Dio. Really? I wonder... Okay, hold on. We're going to come back to you, Mr. Martinez. Let me see what we've got next here. Sorry for the delay, but busy work day. You forgot to tell everyone how some people use flamethrowers to clear their walkways and driveway day. Man, that would be so easy. That would be so much fun. That would probably be bad, though. Don't ever, if you guys ever see me with a flamethrower, bad things probably happened, and just one, call the cops, and two, just stay away. That you don't know. In fact, we'd probably have to do that for all of us. Flamethrower's bad. I was lit on fire once for a Halloween party. It was kind of funny. It was intentional, by the way. It wasn't like it was just, hey, let's light me up. No, we kind of knew what we were doing in theory. It was for a haunted house thing. It was fun. Ghost Tab, I live in New York. Cool and snow everywhere I look. Oh, man. Yeah, I saw the city anyway got hit. I think it was 11 inches or something. That's insane. John, Motu trailer was interesting enough to give it a chance. Got a buddy and his kid, likely. I'm going to see it with. He first saw the original movie with me a couple years ago and dug it. Nice. I haven't seen that in years. Sci-fi, the next Scooby-Doo wave will have Scooby-Doo, Daphne, the deep diver ghost, and the terror robot. I knew that part. I do enjoy. I gotta jump in on that line, Mr. Madsen. Memphis had 200,000 people without. Oh my God! I heard there were 100. There were like 1 million people without power, but Memphis got hit with that much. Wow. Let's see. Yeah, I'm making fun of the AI. All right, Spaded One. I figured after the last one, that's got to be it. Mr. Spencer, main issue with the snowstorm, I couldn't get out to see Hard Boiled in the theater. Very sad. My apologies, sir. That's not good. Not good. My main issue is I just don't like leaving anywhere. Once I'm somewhere, I want to stay. I go to Kroger. I just want to hang out in Kroger for 4 hours. They look down on that, apparently. Mr. Madsen, sci-fi, nope, Scooby-Doo is in Wave 2, along with Space Kook Sea Demon. That's right. Daphne is Wave 3, because Scooby-Doo just hasn't shipped yet. And I missed some of you guys. Hang on, let me head back. Try to get a few here. I don't wanna miss the people. Here we go, Alex. 76 degrees here in San Diego. Maybe I did want to miss that one, Alex. Maybe I did want to miss that one. That's just mean, man. I'm kidding. I'm glad you're warm, man. That's a much better predicament to be in, Mr. Madsen. But I got a ton of snow photo. Okay, all right. That's a plus. That's a plus. Ghost Tab, I collect because robots and toys because they look cool and I like looking at them. That might be enough, honestly. Like truly, I tried years ago. I tried to really dive in and figure it out. I don't know. I just think they're fun, and maybe it's more that pop culture just as a whole stuck in my head more so than for a lot of other people. But who knows? I don't know. Now I'm going to try and find all this stuff that we were at. Here we go. That's where we were. Okay, sci-fi. I found the He-Man trailer very refreshing. Just the trailer itself is better than the Dolph Lundgren version in its entirety. I got it. I feel like I should go back and watch that because Frank Langella was Skeletor, but who knows? Spaded One, easy Sandman diorama idea. Go to Home Depot and buy a garden statue of a man. Glue sand to it. That's a pretty good call because he did get huge when it came to, what was it? Spider-Man 3, right? The one with Toby? Wave 3, Daphne, Captain Cutler, Charlie X. Captain Cutler, I forgot about that. I did forget that one. That one is the suck. I am the suck when it comes to such things. I did want to show you guys something. I know it always sounds like I just thought of it, but I actually had this open. I thought this was interesting. And then we'll jump back. Check this. Okay, wait, this is just Metacom overall. Let's type in MothX. So if you guys have been thinking of getting any of these, I still haven't gotten Rogue. Like I said last time, I got the official Ami notice saying, yeah, she's still delayed. But there's a lot of reissues and a lot of things up for pre-order on BBTS here. And I'm sure a lot of places have this same kind of deal going on. But let's see, if you missed out on the Berserker figure, which I know hasn't been released yet, but I also know BBTS sold out of their initial pre-orders. The Batman for $100 seems reasonable considering what MothX seems to be going for lately. And because I still don't have Rogue, I still don't know, I don't know what to tell you guys as far as pricing when it comes from there. It sounded like another 25 or $30 will be tacked on to her though. So I'll have to decide for myself if it's worth ordering from Ami or if I should just order from BBTS. But we do have, let's see, here's Jean. She's a reissue. I would say, as far as jeans concerned, if you need to complete your 90s X-Men and Mafex, I would get this jean. If you don't, I would not get this jean. She and Thor are the only Mafex figures I've ever gotten that disappointed me a bit. And her, it's because she's supposed to fly up, like using her hands and all that. She can't look up because of how they did her hair. Like that's her flying in Mafex land. So I just wanted to tell you, if you do decide to get her, that you're not, like, it's going to be difficult to make her pose really well. So just fair warning. I mean, I have her and I'm not getting rid of her. But yeah, if you're not getting the 90s X-Men, and if you're just looking for the heavy hitters and all that, I would get the Phoenix over this. Luke, I believe, was sold out, the Mando Luke. Bane, I know, was sold out, and he's still just 110, which again seems kind of normal. We've got, let's see, the Cap. Yep, if you missed out on Cap for $100, go for him. We've got the Chrome Mandalorian somewhere in here. Was that the first one I passed? Yeah, the first one I passed was the Chrome Mando, which I'm still tempted by. But I wanted to point this out because they talked about just a ton of reissues going on for Mafex right now. And some of them, I mean, again, the price is reasonable compared to what they are today. I do like this Joker, and I know he's not everybody's cup of tea, but because of how weird he is, he's just a blast to take photos of. And because of the way he moves and all that good stuff. So I would recommend this Joker. I would not recommend the Jean. And you guys know me, I'm a Mafex guy. So maybe take any of my recommendations with a grain of salt. But if I say a Mafex isn't good, I would say, yeah, just don't get that one. All right, John, let's see. Odd issue to run into. Assuming I don't open all the duplicates or all the sea-themed stuff, I'm saving for warmer weather, I only have 2 figs left to open. That is an odd issue to, let's see, to run into. Let's see here. Assuming I don't open all the duplicates or all the sea-themed stuff. Obviously, you don't need to open the duplicates. I would start with the 2 figures, John. Start with the 2, and then you're going to have to make a decision. I know that for me, the only time that I don't open something is if I seriously have not had time. I had to make time. What was it? I think it was a couple weeks ago. I had to make time after work to, and this wasn't opening a figure, but to put Superion together. I had the parts for Superion for probably a week or 2. Like, I finally got him completed. And I wasn't able to put them together because I just didn't have time to do it. So I ended up having to make the time. But for figures, I tend to open them pretty much as soon as I get them. Again, unless I don't have time, which is what happened with Superion. So yeah, man, my thing is just always open the figures, unless you've got duplicates, because you kind of don't have to, especially if there's unless they're army builders. If they're army builder duplicates, you got to open them because they're armies. You need the army. Star, what's up, sir? Hey, gang. Sorry, can't stay. Oh, no. You're okay, Star. No worries, man. Hope you're staying warm. Wife has friends from Madrid staying with us. Wait a sec. Of course you're staying warm. You're in Florida. Let's see. I have to entertain. Just wanted to drop in and wish everyone a great show tonight. Take care, guys, and we'll see you next time. Star, take care, man. Glad you were able to stop by. Hope you have a blast with your wife's friends, which sounded very strange. Don't take that the way that, anyway, I'm just going to keep going. Joey, what's going on? Good evening from cold and chilly Dallas, Texas. That's, I believe, Mr. Madson's down there too. Ooh, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Like, as much as I sit here and I complain about the cold in Michigan, it's Michigan. You're going to get cold. Texas, my brother is down in Austin. And I should probably check in with him, to be perfectly honest, see how cold he is. But yeah, you guys, it's got to hit you a little harder just because you don't have it all the time, you know? Sci-fi I collect for nostalgia and coolness. Ooh, iconography. I'm gonna say iconography. I don't know. Those are good. Those are totally good reasons too. I mean, the rule of cool. There are some figures that I don't know anything about. Like I haven't read any Transformers comics, for instance. But I thought Tarn just looked awesome, so I have a Tarn. So I know nothing of him, but coolness does definitely factor in from time to time. And that's why I have all the indie figures I have, is they're just cool. Obviously, there's nothing nostalgic about those. So yeah, coolness is a big deal. Joey, this is my first time on the channel and in this chat. Does anyone do the discount toy hunting? Joey, first, welcome. I wasn't sure. I thought it was, but I appreciate you stopping by. Glad you're hanging out here tonight. Let's see. I have an Ollie's and a Five Below really close to me, but I haven't been able to get out all that often. Probably the last 2 or 3 months. I just haven't looked. Now, when I know that there's something, like when reports are coming in that they've got stuff like that at those places, absolutely, I'll go check them out if it's something I'm interested in. But I haven't seen much that I've heard about that I've been really interested in. How about you? Have you been getting some pretty sweet deals? Let's see. By the way, that joke is really nice. If I was into those, I would totally buy that Joker. That Joker. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That Joker is really cool. It's actually, I judge my photos based on everyone else's opinion. And I took a photo of Joker that posted last week or the week before with a green background. And people seem to really like it. And it was that Joker because he's just so much fun to pose. It's one of the reasons I like getting figures from a company like MothX, is because there's just so much you can do as far as posing options are concerned. See, John, I found if I opened them all right away, I wouldn't fool with them enough and some would get lost in the shuffle. You know what, John? I can't even give you crap about that. So I told you guys that Hasbro hit me with a ton this month. They were like, I think probably within 2 or 3 days, I ended up with 6 figures. I did not get to enjoy them on an individual basis like I would have liked. And I need to get back to those figures actually and just mess with them some. But there is that argument to be made for sure. Spaded One pulled the trigger on that Storm Arena Baki earlier, and it got me to watch the show. I have never seen such wackiness in all my days. The show is steroids on steroids. Well, crap. Wackiness and steroids on steroids. You realize this means that, Spaded One, you and I are both going to have to get just all the Baki stuff now. Because I will watch that and have the same thought and be like, okay, I got to load up. Tarn is an actually terrifying villain. Nice. I guess I better look more into him. Joey, I'm a TF collector on the cheap, and that Tarn figure is so cool. Got it last year. Oh wait, yeah, I did. Sorry. I still keep thinking it's 2025, apparently. Yes, I was able to pre-order it, the reissue that came out. And yeah, he's pretty awesome. Mr. Manson, I haven't found anything at the discount stores. Ugh. I was looking when there were reports that Jinx was super cheap from Classified, and I never found her. Joey, I got some uber sweet deals in December, mostly at Ross. Joe Classified Cobra Commander, nice. Sergeant Slaughter, Rock and Roll, Snow Serpent, the Eel, Starduster, Peter B. Parker, Spider-Man from the cartoon. You know what? I should check him for Starduster. Somebody on here, I can't remember who it was, but they said that the head for Starduster matches Flint's skin tone perfectly, and that's a really good head for Flint, and it fits the beret as well. So I might keep an eye out just so I can see if they've got a Starduster there. But that's great. I'm assuming that the Slaughter was Mad Marauders. Was the Cobra Commander the retro, or was he the battle armor one? Let's see, Joey, movie, Black Series, Darth Maul, a number of AEW wrestling figures, TF Armada Galvatron, and Optimus Prime. Whoa, Armada Prime? Which Optimus Prime did you get? If you got Armada Prime at Ross, I'm going to cry a little because that's pretty awesome. Or even if you got Star Optimus Prime. If you got Star Optimus Prime at Ross, there's going to be a lot of tears. I still have to end up getting that guy. All right. Anyway, I wanted to I wanted to bring this up, gang. I thought many of you seem to collect somewhat like I do, so I thought I better throw this out there. Let's look at Berserker here. Berserker's one that I know nothing of, but I really like comic figures, and Keanu's kind of the man. And I wouldn't get like the more realistic John Wick looking stuff, so I've been actually considering getting the Berserker figure. It's like Keanu if he were a cartoon, kind of. I mean, that's definitely got a Keanu look. If he grits his teeth. I got to find one. Oh, there we go. There you go. We have stoic, somewhat serious Keanu there. That's the Keanu that you use when you're doing your motorcycle dios because he actually owns a motorcycle company. Oh, no. Okay. Anyway, so help me out, gang. Everybody that is in the chat now, anybody that's listening, first off, if this is your first time here, like Joey here, thank you very much for stopping by. Hope you're enjoying your stay so far. Let us know, what is it about action figure collecting? Why do you do it? Like, truly, I look at it now for me, and like I said at the top of the show, I was sitting there trying to figure out why I do this and looking for a deep psychological meaning. The fact is, I'm not that deep. I just think it's cool stuff. And maybe it just stayed in my head a little differently than other things. And it's maybe just what you get into. Like the first thing I really got into was Star Wars. The next thing was Motu. And I didn't, for whatever reason, Motu just didn't stick. Star Wars did, then Transformers and G.I. Joe did. Then, I don't know, man. Let's see, Turtles after that. I'm looking around right now. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Comic books obviously are in there. So yeah, I think I just liked cool stuff. I ended up being a photographer. And I really enjoy getting the cool stuff that I can take photos of. And I think that's it. Like when we're talking about the stuff that, say, the indie lines I've talked about, it's rule of cool. I look at them, and for some reason, like Mythic Legions really kind of grabbed me last year. Mr. Matson has talked about how incredible Savage Crucible is. I still feel like I need to jump in on one of those. Then Mezco. People have told me how cool Mezco is. Somebody sent me a Mezco Death Adder. He's an incredible figure. So there's a lot of stuff that isn't quite so much on the nostalgia side that is just cool and fun to take pictures of. And I think genuinely that's about as deep as it gets. Like I've got guidelines about why I collect certain things, like the reason I'll get something versus not get something else. But that's more just on the opinion side, and everybody's got those opinions on why they collect certain lines and why they don't get other ones. So yeah, I think that's pretty much where I'm at. But tell me, for all of you, why do you do it? What is it about this stuff that keeps you stoked? Is it like what Sci-Fi said, just rule of cool and nostalgia? Or do you think there's something else to it? Like when I was younger, I was in the hospital more times than I cared to count. So I started thinking, I wonder if it's because when I'm in the hospital, I still have this stuff and I can mess with this all the time. And, visiting hours end. So the parents have to go. My friends can't be hanging out, but I've always got these. And so I started thinking maybe that was it. And then I thought, no, that's probably not, it probably has nothing to do with it. So yeah, I think it's just cool stuff. Cool nostalgia. I think I'm right there with Sci-Fi, plus the added benefit of really enjoying taking photos of them. Okay, here's my concern. So in the last live stream I did, what would happen is suddenly there would be just a ton of comments that showed up at once. So I ended up doing a lot of filibustering in the last live stream, and suddenly just boom, and I'd be going, oh no, that's why I was filibustering so long, is because people were typing, and for whatever reason, this held on and wasn't letting me see the chat. So either what's going on right now is that same thing, or people aren't telling me why they dig this stuff. So let me know, guys. Help me out. say things. And in the meantime, let me see. I mean, you just got pretty much my answer. Let me see what else I can find that's kind of fun. We haven't been talking a lot of Transformers, and there is a reason. But until I get things going for that reason, I don't like talking about them a lot on here, but we'll do it anyway because it's been a while. I'm kind of excited about what's coming. So we'll chat some about that. I'm sticking mostly with G1, and I am going to get some Bavers. And the reason is not because I'm an evil G1er. I think there's goodness in pretty much everything except maybe I didn't enjoy Beast Machines. And I know it's fun for a lot of people to pick on Energon. I thought Energon wasn't that bad, honestly. The show was but I thought the toys weren't too bad. So I don't pick on Energon like a lot of people do. And I don't like RID 2015, so I wouldn't get stuff from that. And I don't know if, and help me out in the chat, if you're into Transformers, tell me if this is fair or not. I watched the first episode of Earthspark, and I just never watched any other episode because it acknowledged how horrible Megatron was in G1, as far as, the guy that murdered billions. But now he and Prime are totally cool, and I couldn't get past that. For whatever reason, I was like, no, that doesn't make sense in my head. And this is a guy who enjoyed Cyberverse and is currently watching Cyber World whenever those new episodes come out. So no, the reason I'm getting the G1 stuff, it's the first stuff. It's what introduced me to Transformers. And the base stuff, I'm appreciating it more because it's a lot different than G1. Now, as Toypixx gets more successful, I'll end up jumping in and getting more stuff because I do like a lot of it. So anyway, I figured I'd let you know what's going on there because a figure like this Sideways, I would love to jump in on the Sideways. But he's Armada, and I don't know yet. Although I do know they're re-releasing the Optimus, and I don't know that I can skip that. Whoo! All right, that was a lot of filibustering, and I'm just gonna keep going. Let's see how long I can talk before the chat actually tries to do so. Or are you guys did you decide uniformly that you're just done chatting tonight? I guess that's a possibility. So let's see here. Like another one that I would love to pick up is this big convoy, but I'm kind of going, no. Be reasonable, be good. Try to make it so Mr. Stabby the Wallet doesn't want to stab you too much. Quick Strike, I would love to pick up. I saw him in the store and was tempted the other day. But yeah, I'm kind of excited. And I got a notice the other day, I got a notice today that this is about to hit my pile of loot at BBTS. So I'll finally have my reflector. And I already have the new Thundercracker, but to get the 3 reflectors on the aftermarket, it would have cost me more than just getting this whole set. So I thought, well, I guess I'll get the whole set and see if I can offload the Thundercracker later on. Oh, there we go. See, this is what the chat did. Holy crap. Guys, the chat just popped up, and I'll bet there's 20 to 25 of them. So I'm going to try and catch up now. I don't know what's going on with StreamYard, but I pay StreamYard, so they better get that figured out. Mr. Matson, my first Storm Arena figure will be Dan. Gotta have Dan for my Street Fighter picks. Isn't Dan kind of the joke character a little bit? Like the one that wants to be, like he's kind of like Ryu, but not at all? I don't know how to explain that. Mr. Spencer, Joey, I mostly pick up the cheap stuff from Amazon, a bunch of PlayStation figures for under $10 each. Nice. Then some Joes from cheap from Target/Walmart online. Perfection. Joey, the retro with the dome head. Oh, nice. That's really impressive that you found him. Like I saw him at Target, like he's still at the Target by me. But yeah, I haven't gone to Ross. And of course, I paid full price because I wanted that Cobra Commander that badly. Spaded. Mr. Madsen, you're in for a good time. I hear Ken and Ryu, or I have Ken and Ryu, and they are amazing. Jason, is this your first time here? I appreciate you showing up either way, man. Hope everyone's keeping safe with the storm/snow. I'm watching from Australia, and we're expecting 45 degrees Celsius today. Man, okay. I would love that, I think. I guess it depends. You guys, most of Australia is along the coast, right? Or most of the population. Are you along the coast? And if so, I assume that makes it a really humid, like that makes it a tough 113, doesn't it? Because I know for me, I visited Vegas once when it was just over 100 degrees, but it didn't feel that bad. I know a lot of people will say there's not much of a difference between a dry heat and a humid heat. Oh yeah, I was okay at that above 100-degree temperature in Vegas, but I'm not sure I'd be okay at that when it comes to Australia. Let us know, man. Glad you're keeping warm anyway. Joey, Armada Prime was what? Holy crap, Joey. That's a deal. Because he originally, for those who don't know, Armada Prime originally came out at $90. So 20 at Ross is a deal and a half. Sci-fi, I could never get into a lot of figures because of the limited articulation and horrible face sculpts. Now the toy world had caught up to my ideals. Nice. And I think that's a lot of it for me, except when I go back, I have this shelf in my old room, and it's got just tons of the old Toy Biz 5 POA Wolverines up there. So I guess maybe, no, I was still getting figures way back. Joey, John, I found the Techno Viper during the fall for under $20 on Amazon and wish I bought more than one. Man, that's a serious deal, man. You found a lot of stuff. John, I know it's the stories you can tell, especially with random figures from different lines. Nice, yeah. Stories, when you do crossover type stuff, the imagination just fires like mad, especially with photos. Joey, maybe it's trying to revisit my 80s childhood. Maybe because I look at all the cool stuff that's out now compared to 40 years ago. That could be a big part of it too. Photography is another reason I started back collecting. Nice, Joey, nice. I'll be doing a lot more photo content in the coming months here, guys. So hopefully you stay tuned, check that out. And hopefully what I'm putting up is helpful for everybody. So make sure if you do see other videos going up, or when you do, comment and let me know if it's helpful for you, or if you could go, or if you think I should try to, if there's something that you're looking at and saying, yeah, I mean, that's cool, but could you try this and see how it works? Feel free to do that on any video, because I do want to do things that'll help all of you out. Mr. Madsen, action figures are artwork. I love the storytelling possibilities. I collect for stuff I didn't have or photo purposes. Nice. The photo purposes, that's a big deal. I didn't think about the stuff you didn't have. It was kind of funny. I was looking at my Transformers shelves, oddly enough, and looking at them, trying to split out what I did have from what I didn't have as far as characters. It was a weird exercise. Joey, same. Man, so you guys are seeing this stuff before I do, it looks like. Sci-fi 100%. Yep. Anton, the last of the Time Lords is here. Good to see you, Anton. Thanks for stopping in this fine evening. I finally displayed my master figure. He looks great next to the TARDIS. Nice. You were going to have to make room for that, weren't you? Like, where is the display, like front and center? Is it somewhere where you can always see it? Jason, I never really had much in the way of figures as a kid, so now with adult money, I can collect these cool-looking characters and surround myself with the various fandoms I love. Also an awesome answer, man. That's really cool. What kind of stuff do you usually get? Anton, I also saw, just from the guys that you told me about, there is now its Keegan figure with a damaged Dalek. Is it Dalek or Dalek? It's Dalek, isn't it? John, I don't know if it was someone here on Twitter, but someone recommended the D&D Owl Bear. Glad they did. It's proper huge. Nice. I remember seeing that thing and thinking it looked cool, but it never looked cool enough for me to go and grab. So it's good that you did and you think it's rad. Spaded, you see the Roboson Soundwave? Yeah, I did, Spaded One. I did. It's I the Roboson stuff. I look at it and I go, and I think I've talked about this on here too. If I had all the money in the world, first off, nobody else would have enough money to be able to build something like the Roboson Soundwave. But if I had more money than I could possibly spend, I don't think I'd get the Roboson stuff because it would be like a novelty. I feel like I'd have fun with it for half an hour to an hour and then just never really mess with it again unless somebody was coming over and I was like, hey, check out this cool sound wave. But that would be it. I don't know, though. What do you guys think? Would you load up on Roboson or have you loaded up on Roboson? Anton, well, it's very, very cold here and it is freezing. And then we had a really bad snow. I went out and shoveled the backyard. And so I can at least get to the garbage cans and my dog can go to the bathroom. Holy crap. Anton, at first I was thinking you shoveled your backyard, but then the rest of what you said makes absolute sense. I'm sorry it's cold, man. Shoveling is not fun. I was lucky. Yesterday I got to use the snowblower, didn't have to use the shovel, but I've had those shovel times and that's not fun. So I'm glad you were able to make things work for the dog and get to the trash because if I had my way, I'd never go outside. The trash would pile up and everything would stink. So that would be bad. At least I'd never go outside in this kind of weather. Summer, I'm out all the time. It's like I'm a kid then. I'm not coming home till the lights go out. Anton, it was like wet, sloppy oatmeal. Oh, God. So you've got it kind of a little slushy. You got to be warmer in Jersey than I am here. Because I don't think the snow has melted at all in a couple weeks. Anton, I love you one. Let's see. Transformers, long live Starscream. That's going to be a fun figure when he comes out. John, Dave, there's a whole comic series where Megatron is hanging with Autobots trying to atone for what he's done, and it's quite good. I saw it. He's on the Lost Light, right? Like, I haven't read it, but I've seen enough stuff. I shouldn't say enough. I've seen stuff about it where I'm looking at Megatron with the Autobot symbol and all that. Yeah, it does seem that I need to read a lot more comics. Good. Now, I got you. Although, if we're talking about Megatron, he does kind of think he's a god. Joey, have not watched Transformers or Spark. I felt it was made just for kids. Well, in all fairness, so was Cyberverse, I think, and I still liked it. I'm a weirdo. In all fairness, there, though, it took a while to get into Cyberverse. You had to get to the full cast before it was a lot of fun. Spaded, looks like the chat is stuck on his end. It was very much stuck. Kind of like last time, apparently. Anton, there are a lot of good episodes here and there of Transformers. Fire on the Mountain, that was a good one. That was the one with Jetfire, right? Like, obviously, they all had a lot of figures or a lot of characters, but that was the one where Jetfire flew Brawn and Windcharger down, and Megatron had the weapon with the defective steel. He blamed Starscream and Thundercracker. That's right. I know some stuff. See, SOS Dinobots. Yep. I know exactly that one. That sideways figure is nice. I might consider the Reflector / Thundercracker package. Looks good. Yeah, the only thing about it, like I said, if I could have found those Siege Thundercrackers, if I could have gotten 3 of those on their own for less than this, I probably would have done that because I'm going to have an extra Thundercracker now that I'm going to have to get rid of because I have the Studio Series Thundercracker, who's really good, by the way. If anybody's considering getting those, just try one and see what you think. Anton, put Mr. Stabby in the vault. Then he can't hurt you after you spend all the money, of course. Yeah, he'll find a way. Mr. Stabby's an angry wallet. Dan is a joke, but he defends his friend Blanca. Oh, no. You know what? Maybe I need to get Dan. I don't know much about Dan, but if he's defending Blanca, he needs to be perhaps part of my collection. And if Jada's not going to make him, maybe Storm Arena is necessary. And Baki and all that. Let's see if chat's going to be stuck again here. What do we have? That was, oh no. Chat is stuck again, ladies and gentlemen, because that was 9 minutes ago, at least according to my phone. Oh dear, my apologies, gang. So hopefully chat gets fixed. To everybody who's here for the first time, this is the second time this has happened. So my apologies. I don't know what's going on, but hey, it sounds like people aren't losing me, so I can't blame the internet. This one seems to be squarely on StreamYard, who apparently I need to blame. So for those who are just now joining, if you haven't heard the question, it is just straight up, why did you start collecting action figures? What is it about you that gets you all stoked? A lot of people are giving some really cool answers, and it all makes sense to me. So, no answer is wrong. How about we go with that? The answer is only wrong if we asked what kind of stuff you like, and you said, never mind. I was gonna say bad things, and if you dig it, then it's worth picking up. So keep it up and let me know why you get it. But now, let's see. I'm testing my filibustering skills considering the chat keeps freezing on me. Let's go to, since you guys can apparently see me, Storm Arena. This is one that I probably need to get just so I can open a Storm Arena figure on the live stream and see what I think. And for everybody that's never heard me talk about these before, I think that the sculpt is better. It looks like the articulation's better on Storm Arena than Jada, but I'm so deep on Jada when it comes to Street Fighter that I'm not going to switch that up. However, with something like Baki here, I might. I mean, Jada doesn't do it. So, I mean, a pose like that makes you think, yeah, I definitely need to pick up a Storm Arena figure. And I think Baki's going to be the one I get. But if Spaded One is correct, then I'm going to watch Baki and it's going to be pure insanity, which means I'm going to have to continue watching Baki. Good Lord, man. Yeah, always love that. That's because we have extra face stuff going on. He looks mad. Don't get on Baki's bad side. This is a punk kid that'll wreck you, apparently. 3 sets of hands, 2 faces, stand. Yeah, he'll be pretty good stuff. Okay. It jumped again. My apologies, everybody. So feel free to answer the question and we'll get jumping. Thank you, Paul. Kairos, hello, Toypixx. Hello, everyone. Good to see you, Kairos. Thanks for stopping by on this somewhat jumpy chat night. And no, I had to put him in the back next to his tires, but that he looks really cool. I even gave him his tissue compression eliminator. This is more, you're speaking more words that I don't know from Doctor Who. One day I will have to sit down and watch more than the few episodes I saw of the Matt Smith era. I'm thinking. Joey, Toypixx, is that the HasLab Galactus behind you? Is that Trypticon on the other side? That is both of those. I have gotten 2 HasLabs. Neither one's Transformers. I've gotten the Galactus, and right behind me is the His Tank. And I'm over the moon for both of them. However, I do wish that I'd gotten Victory Saber and Deathsaurus. Those HasLabs would have been cool. And probably Leo Kaiser as well. I do like Transformers Victory, so the fact I didn't jump in on those makes me a little sad. But we'll see what happens on the secondary. But yes, that is exactly who I've got behind me. Sci-Fi, hi everyone. I'm Sci-Fi George, and this is my first time on today's stream. Yep, Sci-Fi, never seen you before, ever. Joey Paul, what up? Whew. All right, Harry, I collect because there's a calm and silence, posing, shooting, or just organizing the figure collection. No matter how chaotic the world can get, I always have that. Harry, I like that answer, and I like it because so this is, for those who don't know, I'm at my office right now, and what it is, it's going to be product photography and all that stuff. So the one part that people won't see with the product photography is the collection, which is behind me pretty much. And when I need a break from working on just stupid office stuff, like today, I had to send a couple forms to the state of Michigan. And oh my God, I hate doing any kind of bureaucratic anything. It drives me crazy. I do not enjoy keeping the red tape gun full. But anyway, I had to do that and it drove me nuts. And when I was done, I just got up and I walked back here so I could just look at the figures and chill. So I really like that part of your answer. I like the whole answer, Harry, but that part I related to just today, man. Joey, chills. 'Twas a honey badger. Jason, I mostly collect Marvel, but I've begun branching out into DC, Street Fighter, G.I. Joe, Dreadnoks, a couple Transformers, and sometimes just random stuff that looks cool, like Gundam model kits, for example. Nice. Yeah, the Gundam model kits look sweet. I've been looking, so I think most everybody on here, we talk a lot about 1/12 scale figures. And so one thing that may or may not be something that you'd be interested in is they have 30 minutes sisters, 30 minutes missions, and 30 minutes fantasy, which are all model kits made by Bandai Namco, I believe. Yeah. And they don't take long to build. They're already colored. You don't need glue. You just need to cut the pieces out of the trees and put them together. And they're pretty close to sized with 1/12 scale stuff, and they're not crazy expensive, probably because they're just molded plastic and you have to put them together. So they're just something fun to supplement a lot of these other collections with. I still want to pick some up, but the stuff you got, yeah, man, DC, Marvel, Street Fighter, classified Dreadnoks. I was telling these guys I think a couple months ago, I need to pick up some Dreadnoks. They just look like a ton of fun. But yeah, I mean, you sound like you are right up the alley here with the stuff you get. I think you'll get along just fine with the crew on here. Sci-fi, Anton, which master did you get? Which one was it? I can't remember what you said, Anton. John, okay, both figures open, nice. So I'm down to Extra Joes and all the Aquatic Joes / Cobras to open, unless I ship my pile of loot, but trying to wait on more stuff that's expected. Isn't that tough? Like, man, I tried waiting. I actually was forced. I had 2 or 3 piles of loot last year, and I was forced to order the first one because one of the figures was about to be done. And then you're like, or about to expire past the 90 days. And then you're going, well, it defeats the pile of loot if I only ship that figure. So then you're shipping like the next 3 or 4 with it just because, okay, now it makes sense. So you don't get to wait forever. I just need to buy more so the piles of loot end up huge. Maybe that's it. So what ones do you have? A lot of like the divers going on, the Joe and Cobra divers for the sea type stuff? Because if you have tons of those, you might as well open all those too. Let's see, John, wise words. If you dig it, it's worth picking up. Should be a motto. Maybe I'll put it on a shirt. We'll see. Thank you, John. Kairos, Toypixx, the Blade Runner car spinner is coming out next month. There's videos, looks great. I haven't even seen that. Like, I haven't even heard about that, Kairos. We might have to see if we can find that. If you want a link, let me know. Yes, show us a link. Absolutely. And when I was a kid, my grandmother used to buy me all the fun toys, and I always make sure that Christmas that somebody got some toys for the YMCA. They give it to the local families in my hometown. Anton, that's awesome, man. That's a great idea. Toys are always fun because they get to be like old friends that were just remember all the morals we learned in Toy Story. You know what? It's kind of weird listening to, so what I've got going, I'll have G.I. Joe or Transformers just running in the background because I know those shows really well. So while I'm working on something where I don't have to think too hard, so maybe editing a photo, for instance, I'll have those things playing and you kind of hear them in the back of your mind while you're working on whatever. And there were a lot of useful things that they tried teaching us. I don't know if it worked. I don't know if any of it sank in. But as I listened to them, I'm going, that probably would be a good thing for kids to hear a lot of. And well, superheroes, of course. Marvel, DC, Doctor Who, of course. Disney, Nine of the Apes or Planet of the Apes, Toy Soldiers. Man, loading up. I likes it. Who got to see the new He-Man trailer? Looks interesting. Yeah, we talked about that a little bit. I told everybody, for me, I think it looks fine. I didn't stick, like Motu didn't stick with me like a lot of other stuff, but I thought the trailer was cool until I saw He-Man and Skeletor, and it was almost like it was just a different movie. They didn't look like they fit everything else that was set up. To me, anyway. Skew, what's up? Cheers to the esteemed chat. I'm assuming it's cheers because all I'm seeing here are like a bunch of empty boxes, but I'm going to assume that's it, Skew. Thanks for stopping in tonight, sir. I collect so I won't be out of place. I loved it since a baby. Never stopped having all of this stuff, or never stopped loving all of this stuff. Tried to be cool like everyone does, but in college went right back to it. You know what's funny? That's when I went right back to it too, Skew. High school, you're trying to be all right. You're trying to fit in. Then you realize, well, that's a waste of time. Pixelated, what's up, sir? Good to see you. Hey, all made it for the last 30 live. All right. That's why I like to see you, Pixelated. You just popping up is a treat for the rest of us, sir. Skew, out of place in the esteemed chat, not knowing anything or something. We all know something or anything about it. It's fun and stuff, Beavis. Oh, God. It's been a long time since I've tried one of those. Kyrus, I'm collecting Star Wars, DC, and Marvel Toypixx, but I think I always collected, even before I knew what collecting was when I was a kid. That's nice, man. Nice. I know we probably all have had kind of that little bit of mentality going with the whole, I mean, since we were kids, gotta catch them all kind of thing, even though Pokemon was after my time. But I remember the first line that I really wanted just everything from, whether or not I liked the figures, and it was the Dark Knight collection from Kenner. So there are times I think I should go back and get some of those. John, 2 Navy SEAL divers, torpedo, wetsuit, shipwreck, eel, retro eel, and a Fortnite boat. Oh, John, you do customizing, man. Bust out that Fortnite boat. Bust it out and make it awesome. Do whatever it is you want to do with that thing so that when you bust out these guys, it's ready to go. Because that Fortnite boat is a great mold. It's just kind of goofy for G.I. Joe figures, but you could make it awesome, I'm sure. And well, Sci-Fi George, I got the Anthony and Lee Master. He was awesome. He comes with an extra head. He comes with 2 compression eliminators, maybe. It's been a while. See, and he comes with his own TARDIS. Now, see, I feel like a Doctor Who should come with a TARDIS. I know that much. Skew, new trailer is fire, Anton, He-Man. There we go. See, is anybody here a hardcore Motu fan? Because they're the people that you want to know. Like, are there any hardcore Motu fans sitting here watching right now thinking, you know what? That trailer was awesome. Because those are the people I want to hear from, I think, most. Just because, we'll get a better sense of whether or not it was something that the Motu fans want to see. Pixelated, collecting for me can be summed up as pop properties from the 80s, 90s, and anything I've learned about and considered cool since then. You know what? That's probably about right here. I mean, almost everything I collect started in the 80s, but rule of cool for all the other things. You're not wrong at all, Pixelated. I mean, no answer to this question is wrong, obviously, but I think it jibes pretty much with a lot of what we do. With a lot of what all of us do. Awesome, John. Sounds dope. Yeah, it's gonna be a good. He's gonna have some fun, I'm thinking. Jason, I wish someone could get the license for the old Small Soldiers movie and make new figures of those characters. I have not thought about that movie in forever. I'm not even sure. I'm trying to remember if I saw it. I can picture the main guy, but I don't know, like the military looking guy. I can picture him, but I don't know if I saw the movie. That might be another one I have to add to the list. Skew, it's cheers, salute, bullseye, fire, live long and prosper. Dang it, Skew. Why do you know all the things? Awesomeness, Anton. You got some Doctor Who dopeness. Oh, yeah. And that was probably your help there, Skew. Finding out where he could get them and what the name of the company was. All right. Baki's been on here for quite some time. Let's see what else we can find here. While we're talking, just so we have a different background, I did see this. I thought this just kind of cracked me up. If anyone is a big time Motu person, you can get an 8-foot lawn inflatable. So here's what I'm thinking of Castle Grayskull. So here's what I'm thinking. If you're a Mondo collector, so you've got figures that are about a foot tall, then you can just buy this Castle Grayskull, put it against the wall, like a wall in your house, and have all your Mondo figures just hanging out down here like they're walking into Grayskull. Because you know that door there, that drawbridge is plenty big. That door, great googly moogly Dave. So yeah, they're just walking in, hanging out. They're maybe, they're an eighth the size of this. So down here somewhere, just chilling. So there you go, man. You don't even need to get crazy with the prices. Like, what's that? $160, and you never have to buy a Motu Dio for your Mondo stuff. You just get your Mondo stuff, you set that up against the wall, maybe put a couple of shelves here, done. That's if you're the hardcore Motu person. Whoo! Gunstar, what's going on, man? Evening, sir. I need a mature way to play with my MP Transformers when I discovered toy photography, which led down the Jada classified Marvel Legends rabbit holes. Nice. A mature way, you say? I'll give that to you. That's what I like to use when it comes to people and I talk about this stuff. I'm like, oh, yes, it's a hobby because I get to take photos. I get to be all adulty and pretend that I'm all adulty. No, that doesn't work for me. But I do enjoy that you fired that off. I think that's really cool. And the Masterpiece Transformers. It's been a long time since I got one of those. Have you been paying attention to the MPG figures at all? Because I haven't gotten them. I think I'm going to stay away. But that new Prime looks really good. Pixelated, the original O-Ring Joes were the first line I ever tried collecting all the figures. Holy crap, Pixelated. Egad, man. But I wasn't attached to the original 13, so I didn't bother with those. You know what? We got to be pretty close age-wise because the first I really got into G.I. Joe was probably like watching the Duke series. Which one was that? That was the Mass Device, right? And then when I really started getting deep was Revenge of Cobra and the rest of the series, which of course made Flint the man. So yeah, man, like either way, yeah, the OG-13 just wasn't presented that much except Stalker and Scarlet and Snake Eyes. Everybody else was just kind of there once in a while. Skew, Jason, that sounds like a great line. Yeah. And when I went to school, they all used to think I was a weirdo because I still collected toys. Let's see, and read comics. Now it's a lot different. Everybody says you can tell us about that character. Nice. So you're kind of the encyclopedia for all that stuff. John, I'm looking for an ocean/beach looking mat or something in a good backdrop, but spring before I have good space to dio. Okay, but spring before you can do that. Gotcha. I wonder, good backdrop. Man, there's a lot of, I'm sure you've seen all these things where you can do like, you can make, what is it they use? I think they use like a clear resin and there's a lot of different ways to make water and all that stuff. I'm sure you know all those tricks, but it kind of feels like that would be a lot of fun to set something up that way. I'm wondering if you could do, say, something. So I'm constantly trying to think of dios as far as modularity because of how much room they can take up. So I wonder if you could pick up something and do, say, 1 foot by 1 foot mats or like the pink foam or whatever, build some kind of thing on top of that can lock together. And they're, like I said, foot squares, and you have a bunch of them. And when you can just lay them out for a shot, and then you can stack them all back up. I wonder if there's something there that could help out, because it feels like it would be difficult to do a water shot because of how much expanse you'd want to see from the water, or like you're focused on the boat. So then do you put the water on the side? I don't know. It's almost like the water can almost be its own character, but then you don't want to add tons of bubbles and all that stuff because then it won't match. Am I thinking about this too hard? That's a real question right now, Anton. It's really weird being a nerd now and then. It's all right. I think we've all pretty much found our people, and we're good with it. I've got plenty of people that know I'm a nerd, and they're still okay with me. So, whew, I lucked out. Whoops. Got to push the button, Dave. Skew, John, on Amazon, there's one ocean mat. Oh, there you go, John. Anton, yeah, I like He-Man, and I think that's pretty cool. And I even like the original movie they did years ago. Too bad they didn't have Battle Cat, though. That's one thing. Who was it? It was somebody on here brought up that they thought that MGM missed the mark by not making the lion at the beginning roar like Battle Cat would. Like by not making the lion Battle Cat, basically. I think they missed something by just not showing Battle Cat in the trailer. Skew, seen peeps like Punk with Toys and Chad, let's see, tons use it with a flag. Got it. The Savage Land used it on the table. Looks awesome, John. Yeah, I need to check out the Savage Land more. His setups are so elaborate. It's really cool. Anton, yes, that would be really cool. Small Soldiers is an underappreciated movie. Joey, I have no Masterpiece figures. They are too much for me right now, but I did get 2 bootlegs / knockoffs last year on eBay. Wheeljack and Prowl. I had Wheeljack and Prowl way back when. I loved the Prowl mold. Like, that was so much fun. Gunstar, of course I had to pre-order that MPG Hot Rod. Nice. He looks good too. I'm trying to stick with Transformers that are things that anybody could find at, say, Walmart or Target or wherever they are in the world, whatever just general store they can go to. I'm trying to keep it to that right now. But man, that Hot Rod looks great. That Optimus looks great. And I like that they're not slavish to any source material. I think that's one of my favorite parts, actually. That's why I liked when Shogo Hisui was in charge of the Masterpiece line, is because it wasn't just so cartoon accurate, Skew, look for tons of licenses to be made in the next 5 years, like Small Soldiers. That's true. As long as people keep buying up the action figures, people are going to keep trying to make any license work. Hopefully they'll find a few more that we have been clamoring for, that enough people need to get to keep them going. John, funny. Some would say that action figures are my midlife crisis, but I'm a bit past that. In the end, it all brings a smile to my face. I look around and it makes me happy. That's pretty much all anyone can expect from their hobby. I think that's perfect. John, oh yeah, I could make something using water effects, which is, let's see, we call that resin, but it's a lot of work. Okay. So maybe on the pink foam, you could just like paint the pink foam blue or however you color it. I'm assuming it needs a primer or something before you paint. So paint it blue and then just use saran wrap. Put saran wrap on top of it. And then you could have like a bunch of 1 foot square pieces that you could just hide somewhere and then put them all together. I don't know. I keep trying to think of this stuff for me because ground is what's difficult for me when it comes to shots and dios. Skew, that works too, Dave. Model railroading and epoxy can make water with waves. Ooh, combined with the mats and tablecloths from Amazon. Nice. Okay. See, I don't know that I have anything that really I would use with water. I mean, you gotta use all your figures with all the environments, but like, I don't have anything that I think, like, I don't have any kind of Navy SEAL figures or anything like that. Of course, that will change with Valaverse this year. John, and I need the space, the spring, when we clean out the garage for hobby space. Nice. That's going to be good. Kairos Toypixx, are you getting the Mofex Clark Kent? I want to, but with these new companies, Chaos, yeah, LPZZ, InArt are so good. I have to be careful what I buy. I know. I want the Clark because of the smirk. And I want the Bruce because I don't have just a regular Bruce Wayne figure. But I'll have to see. I mean, I do want those comic versions for sure. But there's going to be a Superman for Tomorrow figure that comes out at some point that might also have a happy smile going on. But man, yeah, it would be nice to have a Clark and a Bruce. It gets tricky because of how much pricier Mofex is. And I don't get a lot of the cheaper lines. You know how a lot of people will buy just tons of Marvel Legends. So you buy 3 or 4 Marvel Legends, it's one Mofex. I can look at it that way and say, well, a lot of people buy tons of those and they have those figures. And I don't need tons of figures. I can just get one Mofex for every 4 or 5 that they've got. But at the same time, that feels like it's a lot more of a hit at one time than, say, just buying a Marvel Legend, then buying one next week, then one the week after. So I don't know. With the way Mofex is pricing things, I'll have to be a little more judicious, I think. Like, I know I need to get the comic book characters. I need to get Jubilee. I need to get Iceman. I need to get Punisher. I need to go back and get some other Hush figures like Riddler and Scarecrow. And I got to get a Deadpool. I still got to get a Tiger Stripe Wolverine. There's plenty of Mofex I have to get anyway that aren't quite 120 or 130 bucks, but we'll see. We'll see. I do want them. So we'll see how Toypixx does. It's really just a question of how well Toypixx itself does as a business. As far as InArt and LPZZ are concerned, I definitely want to try those out, but I don't see them right now releasing a ton of stuff. So getting one of those every once in a while, probably if they come out with something that really interests me, I could see jumping in on those too. Anton, I don't know if this is on topic, but I just want to send my condolences out to Uncle Floyd. Very funny man. Uncle Floyd? I don't know Uncle Floyd. It's okay. Condolences. Sorry, Anton. I don't know things. I basically just look at action figure stuff. So if anybody else knows, help me out. Skew, get that drop of Ocean Mat or Tablecloth and use the DBZ effects here. Oh, nice. The water effects for wave effects. Bonus points if you include aquamarines on a seahorse. Aquamarine on a seahorse randomly. You know what? That's something else. And I'm sure you know this, John, but all the stuff you can get at like a pet store for aquariums and stuff, some of that might be pretty cool. Pixelated Prince Adam was twisted. Who gets electrocuted, then immediately tries to fry his cat? You know what? I actually was talking about this with somebody the other day. I don't know that you could have made the He-Man, like the Masters of the Universe cartoon today, because somebody would jump in and say, this guy's abusing his pet. Like, genuinely, I was thinking about that, because not only is he abusing his pet by hitting him with the lightning, but his pet is trying to cower and get away from him. And then he does that. So I'm sitting back going, I don't think you can make that Motu cartoon today. But I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but it kind of made me chuckle a little bit. Skew, John, with that mat / tablecloth, you can fold or cut it as needed. That's what I'm always thinking, is how do we keep things so it doesn't take up lots of space, you know? Skew, Aquaman, not Aqua. I thought maybe there was something I didn't know, which is a lot of somethings, really. Woo. We're going now. Anton, I would suggest that you go to a pet store and look at the fish tank displays. See that? I think, yeah. Anton, that works too. We were on the same page there, Skew. No problem. I'm a Time Lord of many skills. You do seem to be that way, Anton. Skew was going to say that paint the foam, then seal with Mod Podge. That dries clear. Nice. Yeah, I think John knows all this stuff. It is a question of room. Thanks, Anton. Joey, Toypixx, what do you think of some of the mashups these toy companies have been doing the past couple of years? Example, Motu and the Transformers, Motu and the TMNT, Transformers and Hot Wheels. I like Transformers and Hot Wheels. In my head, that makes sense. I like that they're all trying this stuff. Some of them just hit and some of them don't for me. Like, I thought Motu and the Turtles was kind of a cool mashup. For some reason, even though Motu and Thundercats should absolutely work, I didn't think that was as cool. I don't like Motu with the Transformers. Now, keep in mind, I didn't pick up any of this stuff, but I did get the Transformers and Hot Wheels, and I think those are pretty cool. But I think I like when people try something to see if it sticks. So especially today when it seems like fewer and fewer companies are really trying much, at least as far as the big companies out there, they want to pretty much stick with all the stuff that we used to love. So they don't try to come up with new properties. Now they're mashing old properties, which is at least trying something new. So I do appreciate the attempts. It's just subjectively, I don't think most of them work, but I do think Transformers and Hot Wheels work. Pixelated, John, same here. A midlife crisis is just getting in touch with the stuff that made you smile when you were younger. For some, it's cars. For others, action figures. And you know what's nice? Action figures much cheaper than cars. We might sit here, like I might sit here and say, man, Mafex figures for 120. Or I can go back and try and get like I don't know, a 69 Camaro. That's going to be more than 120. I mean, add some zeros perhaps, especially if it's in really good shape. Perhaps, I don't know. I haven't looked at it. But those things, nice cars. Jason, Joey, let's see. There's an awesome mashup figures of Shredder and the Green Ranger from, oh, that's right. I did like the look of that one. Shredder and the Turtles and the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I wasn't sure about that mashup overall, but that Shredder is awesome. I forgot all about him. Joey Jason, yeah, that sounds cool. It is. It is. You should look him up. We might be able, actually, hold on. Since we're just kind of putting stuff up on the wall anyway. TMNT, Power Rangers. Shredder. I'll just click that. Oh, there you go. He's on Amazon right now for 40. What's that? There you go. Yep, just over 40. But yeah, this guy, he got reviewed pretty well. People did seem to like him. I don't have him, but I love the look. I think he looks pretty incredible. Hang on, let me make sure that, let me get out of there. Hey, everybody. And let me go back to that window I just opened up for you. There you go. That's him. Joey, don't care much for the mashups, but the TF Hot Wheels that came out are really nice. See, there you go. Only have one so far. Bone Shaker has a skull on the front, or on the front fender. Body, bot mode / vehicle mode are both good. Yeah, Bone Shaker is my favorite of the two for sure. Twin Mill's not bad though. Like a lot of people are really iffy on Twin Mill. I think he's pretty cool. John, Joey, funny you should mention that. I totally got the Power Rangers / TMNT figures waiting in my pile of loot. Nice. John, and I did like the Transformers Back to the Future and Transformers Knight Rider. Want the two Ghostbusters ones, but they're pricey. I didn't even think of those either. I did think, like a lot of people have said, that the G.I. Joe Transformers don't work very well. I don't know if anybody has any of those. Let me know in the chat if you think they work well. And we've got, what are we looking at? We've got 11 minutes, guys. For first-time viewers, I'm usually done by about 11. Good Lord, that'd be a long live stream. By 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. So we've got about 11 minutes. If anybody hasn't answered tonight's question, which is, why do you collect figures? Feel free to drop it in the chat. You've still got time. Well, we're looking at the Shredder / I don't know. Who does he? That's right, the Green Ranger. Yeah, I mean, he looks good, for sure. I wonder what else Amazon has that's crazy. Let's see. Here we go. We'll go to more of the TMNT Mighty Morphin Power Ranger mashups. Why not? Mikey and April. I did think that the idea here was pretty good, actually. So it's another one where overall I think mashups tend to not work for me, but sometimes I see them and I think they're pretty good. Like I thought the TMNT Mighty Morphin Power Rangers mashup looked good anyway. I didn't get them. I've never been into Power Rangers, but I do like Turtles. Oh, there you go. You get a better view there of old Shredhead's head. Oh no. Oh no, it's frozen again. What do we have? 820. Ooh, yep. It hasn't frozen too much, though. Maybe it's not frozen. Maybe you're simply not all answering the question. This is why I'm being a sad panda. I'm not really. Also, tonight's beverage is lemon ginger tea. Yes, I'm all healthy and stuff, except of course for the entire bag of Gardettos I ate earlier today. But it's been a long time since I had Gardettos. They were tasty. I wonder here. Let's look at more since we're here anyway, and since a lot of people are talking about classified. Let me see what we've got as far as sales are concerned here. Low to high on G.I. Joe. There you go, everybody. Who needs an Akiko? I think everybody needs an Akiko, right? Oh, there's the chat again. Here we go. Joey, John, the HasLab Ghostbuster vehicle. Oh, wow. So nice. If I'd had the money, I would have backed that. It looked good. It did look good. I'm not the Ghostbusters guy to jump in on that, but there is no doubt that thing looked amazing. Pixelated Joey, I regret not getting that Ecto one. Yeah. John, I do kind of regret not getting Ecto one too. Ugh. Too many toy regrets, guys. We can't have those. Those are no good. I regret some of the Transformers that I've sold in the past. Basically, I've decided I can never sell Transformers again. John, but the funds were not there. Yeah, hopefully what you hope for is I look at everything more percentage-wise than whole number-wise. So what I'm looking at is, okay, when a certain percentage, when I can get this for a certain percentage of my income, then I feel okay getting it. So like if the Star Optimus Prime, for instance, right now it's still at 150. So right now, as far as a percentage of the income is, that's there where I'm not so sure I want to jump. I mean, I definitely want to jump in, but it would be irresponsible to jump in, right? But then as Toypixx makes more and more money, that 150 is a smaller percentage of the income. Then I decide to jump in, and it gets to a point where even if it goes up to 200, it still might be a smaller percentage of the income than what it is currently, you know? So I try to look at things in percentages when it comes to HasLabs and the pricier stuff. John, the prices for those are much better on BBTS. Oh, nice. All right, sweet. So yeah, if anybody's jumping in on the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger / TMNT crossover, check out BBTS. Joey, Pixelated John, Bobby Valla from Valaverse posted a video over the weekend on that Ecto 1. Check it out sometime. Really neat and creative what HasLab did. I saw he posted it. I just didn't see it. Maybe I should. Joey, let's see. Gardetto, so good. They were, man. They were. It was a whole bag, though. That was the problem. Pixelated Joey, sweet. Right after this. Thank you, Pixelated, for sticking through to the end. John, Joey, I'll take a look. Yeah, I saw the thumbnail. I just haven't checked it out yet. But here's where we're at as far as classified type stuff. You can still get, it's ridiculous how little Zaymot and Tomax are. And I really think, I mean, for me, I can't speak for anybody else. I think that they would have been far better received. Like, I think people would have bought a lot more if these had been kind of a painted silver instead of just a flat gray. Like, I had these and got rid of them. And while most of it had to do with the extra hands, because the shoulder pads and here we go. Yeah, because the shoulder pads and everything else that is kind of supposed to be silver was just this flat gray, or I think of as silver anyway. I thought they didn't look as good as the other figures in the line, but had they been a silver color instead of that flat gray, I think they would have gone over a lot better, and they wouldn't all be, or Zaymot and Tomax wouldn't be as cheap on the secondary or even on Amazon. You get Tiger Force Dusty fairly cheap. You can get Retro Beachhead fairly cheap. I want to find, dang it, I typed classified and they're giving me reaction. Let me keep going. I want to see if Jinx is still. Oh, see, I keep being tempted by Jinx. I'm going to need to jump in on that figure at some point. But like I said, when all the deals were coming through about her, I went and I could never find her for the deal everybody was talking about. I think people were getting her for like $8 and $9. Whew. Joey, I wanted to get that Trypticon when it was at Ross last month. Initially, it was 100. Then Ross released the price or raised the price by 20. You're kidding. Ross raised the price? And too many collectors were in and out of Ross hunting for it. I think it was, okay, here's how silly I was. I figured it's Trypticon, it's G1, it's going to disappear. I better pre-order it. And I know my pre-order was $200. I can't remember if it was BBTS or Amazon. I can't remember if it was totally fan channel. But yeah, I definitely went 200 on it, which now I see that and I feel a little silly. I keep hoping that Star Optimus Prime shows up at Ross. I don't know that that's going to happen. Ooh, Joe Prime, good to see you. Evening all, found you in my feed. Looks like some lively combo. It's good times. And I do say that the people here are the best chatters on the internet. We always have a lot of fun. Thank you very much for stopping by, man. Hopefully you can have some fun with us too. So the big question of the night, though, for anybody that's jumping in, why do you collect action figures? And I told everybody at the beginning, I was trying to find a deep reason. I don't think it's that deep. I think they're cool, and I like taking pictures of them. Joey, Tomax / Zaymot should be cheaper than $13. I do think so. Thank you, Joey. Pixelated Tomax Zaymot should also have been in suits. Oh, yeah, they definitely need some suited ones. I keep missing buttons. Anton Ashford. Let's see what else I collect. I do still collect Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I collect the G.I. Joe. Let's see. I still have all my original guys. Man, Anton, I wish I'd kept all my stuff. John, Mad Marauders Barbecue is a good one at that price. There you go. If anybody needs him. Anton, so I'll start a little bit of a rivalry here. So who's the prettiest, Scarlet Cover Girl or Lady J? Lady J. Done. You don't even. It's not even a contest. Lady J wins every time. Anton, for me, it's Scarlet. That outfit, my goodness, and she's a ninja. She's not real. I mean, Larry didn't mean to write her as a ninja. I mean, that is kind of cool, though. John, Pixelated. I got 2 of Hammerhead from Spider-Man and put their heads on those bodies. Not perfect, but pretty good. Jason, this was my first visit to the live stream, so in case that chat freezes up again, just wanted to say it's been a great time chatting with everyone. Thanks again, and hope to catch the next one. Jason, thank you very much for stopping by, man. I'm glad you had a good time. Hope to see you at the next one, and I hope that the chat doesn't keep freezing on me. It seems to be a little better recently. Joey, Anton, Scarlet is the original, so I'll stick with her. Oh, no. See, Lady J every time. I don't know. I don't get why there's even a competition. Now, I will say as far as figures are concerned, the Scarlet's pretty cool, especially if you guys have the retro Scarlet. Put the short hair. Okay. If you have the retro Scarlet and you have the super articulated Black Widow, the one that was the first female figure Marvel Legends did with the deep ab crunch and all that stuff, I think she was an exclusive to Target. If you have her and you have the retro Scarlet, put the short hair from that Black Widow on the retro Scarlet. Totally changes that figure. In fact, she's right here. We'll close it out. We'll shut down that. Here is Retro Scarlet with the Black Widow head. And I think that's an amazing look for her. I know that a lot of people will say, yeah, but she doesn't have the ponytail. That's okay. This is definitely a good look for Scarlet. And I think that the head that came on this Scarlet, it looked really heavy on the eyeliner, and she looked a lot more cartoony than most of the classified figures. So that's what we've got for this one, folks. It is 8:30. It was nice seeing all kinds of new faces tonight, along with the old guard. You guys always make this place such a blast. So thanks for stopping by. You know you could have done anything else tonight, and you chose to hang out here with all of us. So thanks again. Have fun. Happy snapping. I'll see you Thursday. Bye. Now I'm going to hit end stream. I'll hit it a second time, and things will get weird. Not really.